When you first hear about evidence-based cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI techniques, it can be very easy to worry that they're not going to work for you, or that they just sound completely counterproductive, perhaps that they're going to lead to even more sleep-related worry and anxiety. And when you feel this way, you might be tempted to quit the techniques or not even try them. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Hi, I'm Martin Reed. If you have insomnia, I offer sleep coaching programs that will give you all the skills and support you need to enjoy better sleep for the rest of your life. You can learn more at insomniacoach.com. Now, so many CBTI techniques can seem very counterintuitive. For example, the two key techniques involve spending less time in bed and allotting less time for sleep and getting out of bed when you're struggling to sleep. So it can be really easy as soon as you hear these techniques to just believe that they'll be too difficult or they're not going to work because you've likely tried many different things in a bid to improve your sleep without success. Another barrier that I often come across is people just feel that the idea of allotting less time for sleep, getting out of bed by the same time every day, or getting out of bed when they can't sleep, just gives them this worry, concern, and anxiety. And so just the thought of these techniques lead to worry and anxiety, so you just don't even feel inclined to even try them. So all of these are common barriers, and I think that much of this is down to people like myself, like coaches or therapists or others in the medical community. It's up to us to explain the rationale behind these techniques. Because if we don't do this and we just say kind of, spend less time in bed, trust us, this will work. Well, really isn't good enough. You need to have a really thorough understanding of why these techniques are so helpful. But at the same time, it's really important that you're willing to try them. It's very often we'll have this kind of automatic thought that something won't work or something will be too difficult. But unless we actually try, we'll never know for sure. And with CBTI techniques, they're really a long-term collection of techniques. So just trying them for 1 or 2 nights, even just 1 or 2 weeks, won't necessarily get you the result you're looking for. It's a case of being consistent and implementing these techniques with an eye on long-term improvements. So if you're feeling worried or concerned that certain techniques won't work, or they might make things worse, or they'll increase worry and anxiety, it can be really helpful to kind of reframe this, and instead of thinking that you're going to be implementing this new technique forever, or that you're going to have to try torturing yourself with this new technique, see this in the light of conducting an experiment. You can test your beliefs to see if they're true. For example, you might have the idea, if I don't go to bed by 9 o'clock at night, I'll never get to sleep. Or if I wake at 1 o'clock in the morning and I get out of bed, then I'll be too alert to fall back to sleep. By giving yourself these 2-week experiments, you can actually test the accuracy of these thoughts, because perhaps they are true, but unless you test them out with experimentation, you'll never know for sure whether they are in fact true. So if you're going to try reducing the amount of time you allot for sleep, conduct a 2-week experiment whereby you slightly reduce the amount of time you allot for sleep, and you tell yourself you're just going to do this for 2 weeks in order to see if it has any effect. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, you can reflect back and see if it was helpful. By kind of reframing this idea that you're just going to conduct an experiment, it can kind of make it a little bit more approachable. Because after all, first of all, you don't really know for sure if something is going to be helpful or not until you try. And by kind of giving yourself this 2-week period that you're going to be conducting this experiment, sometimes it can be helpful to just like count the days down in your head. After 4 days, you've only got 10 days left. After 10 days, you've only got 4 days left. And so you've got this period where like the end is in sight. So you give yourself 2 weeks, conduct an experiment, and then reflect back to see if it's been helpful or not. And this can be really helpful in overcoming any worries or concerns you've got about whether a technique might or might not work, or whether it may be helpful in terms of reducing sleep-related worry and anxiety. So anytime that you're not sure if something's going to be helpful or not, give yourself 2 weeks, conduct a 2-week experiment, implement the technique or techniques faithfully and with a lot of commitment and consistency just over those 2 weeks, and then reflect back at the end of the 2 weeks. And if you found them helpful, you know that you can move forward with them. So I hope you found this short video helpful. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. I do try and share a few new sleep snippet videos each week. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or suggestions for a future video, please leave a comment below, or you can email me directly. My email address is hello@insomniacoach.com. I hope to see you back here again soon, and remember, you can sleep.